Hey now. Oh,
We're podcasting.
wow! Those sunglasses were last minute. I didn't know you were going to do that.
Yeah, sometimes I like to sneak up on you.
Whoa! They're very fear and loathing in Las Vegas.
Well, I was going for a Filippo Sprayfico.
Ah, yeah.
Because, I mean,
Italian pornographer.
Yeah, he made me try his yellow tinted sunglasses.
Yes.
When we were in Rome together. And it does really and truly, like, change your outlook on everything.
Right.
It's absolutely
Everything looks like
wild.
piss.
Yeah. And
piss soaked.
And it makes you feel so good.
A big bear pissed on everything. Does
but,
it?
But I don't know why it makes you feel so good. But I think it just makes you feel like you're in Mexico.
Because they piss on everything? Is that what you're...
No, because in films,
right,
they always tint like the color grading yellow
in Mexico
when they're set in Mexico, and they do like orange in Africa, and it's very. And then you go to these countries and you go, oh no, things look like how they are. Cars are the same color as they are.
Yeah. Why do they do that? What's that about?
A lot of people would call it some kind of like echo of racism, of like just making them look like completely different. But it is just a little nod of like Breaking Bad. As soon as they cross the border, even though the rest of the show is like 2 miles up the road, everything becomes yellow as soon as they're in Mexico.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because in Breaking Bad, I feel like everything is that like just fucking. It just always seems so fucking like unbearably hot and bright all the time in that show.
A lot of
like the fucking air is twerking. The air is just fucking shaking.
The air's got Parkinson's.
Booty. Absolutely. Muhammad Ali is the air.
But I just I don't know. I was just out getting some groceries and I just went, you know what? I lost my sunglasses recently.
Right.
And let me say, these are no use in the sun.
They don't protect your eyes at all.
Fuck all. They're not tinted enough.
Right.
But I think they're just tinted enough that my pupils open more.
Yes.
So it's actually worse.
Yeah.
For the sun hitting my face.
I think it'd be nice if you wore them and then like a full tracksuit. Like matching tracksuit.
Just
of
go
some sort.
Sopranos, like crushed velvet tracksuit.
Yeah, or just like old Jewish movie producer kind of thing as well. I feel like your man Elliot Gould in Ocean's 11. I don't even remember.
No, you're not going to believe it.
You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen Ocean's 11.
Funnily enough, fucking Georgie Clooney, G. Clooney, he came out so after the debates, you know,
he hates Biden now.
Well, he wrote a big article and was like, we need to get rid of this coffin dodger ASAP. And then apparently him and Big Barack are best mates. So if like Clooney wrote that, apparently like Barack would have given the sign off on it, being like, yeah, listen.
Clooney has a shit bag.
What does that mean? Like his colon?
Yeah.
Right. Do we all have one of those though? No,
he has a colostomy bag.
What does that mean? So he doesn't shit out his bum?
He shits out his hips.
So he shits out his hips?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that a rich person thing or?
I think so. I think his bum is for other stuff.
Okay, so is that for like if you're like really horny and you just don't want any shit around your bum, you can shit out your hips?
Maybe. I think, God, imagine like the horniest gay man of all time gets a doesn't have Crohn's, doesn't have IBS or anything, just gets a colostomy bag so he doesn't have to douche ever again.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. And you can keep a clean runway.
Kind of like...
you can keep...
Yeah, colostomy bags is like an accessory, functional, just makes your life a bit easier.
Jesus Christ.
You kicking over candles here.
Oh, fuck.
Good Lord. Too much talk of colostomy bags.
So fucking the old Clooney, the old honey Clooney is... He's shitting out his hips.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to be... It's
just
hard
when he couldn't get any hotter. Holy Christ. Tanned silver fox shitting out his hips. Don't get much better than that. 10 out of 10 for me.
An interesting cover of a Shakira song.
Pissing out his elbow. He's got it all.
He's just picking joints to do his fucking ablutions.
Puking out his ankles. He is just...
But it is really hard, I think, for George Clooney to come out and be like, Biden's too old to be president. You can't even shit.
Yeah, lad. At
least he's got a bag of shit strapped to you. Shut up.
Like, let's call a spade, Georgie. At least he's shitting out his bum. Like, compared to you, he's fucking Harry Styles.
Yeah, he is. He's
young,
an Olympic athlete.
He's young, dumb, and full of cum.
He's using all of his holes for what they're meant for.
That's right.
He's not had to add any more holes to himself.
Yeah, lad. Fucking Clooney. Yeah, that is the pot calling the kettle black, to be fair. He has some, like, his wife is some kind of, like, fucking, like, Mother Teresa type figure. Clooney, like,
His wife is like a human rights lawyer.
She's like saving birds and stuff.
She's everybody.
Do you know what I mean?
She's unbelievable. Like,
yeah.
what's her Ilan?
She's like raising, like, you know, puppies that were saved from Uganda.
Ilan Sack?
I don't know what her name is, but apparently she was part of, like, one of the teams that's like in the International Criminal Court. She's part of that fucking useless organization. That, like,
Is that a useless organization?
Well, they just like put out like just there's a warrant out for Netanyahu's arrest. Also,
oh yeah, that's true.
There's a warrant out for Putin's arrest.
Is
there? Yeah. Well, he's in the Kremlin. Go get him, you fucking cunts.
Yeah, the International Criminal Court is really just like
there's a lot of librarians
just
like
pointing.
Yeah.
Technically, that's bad enough for us to care.
Yeah.
But I don't really get the concept of war crimes.
Well,
it feels like similar to the rules of the UFC.
Right.
Does this make sense? Where it's like, hey, don't punch him there.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You're elbowing him in the side of the head.
Yes.
Right, but don't do it that way. With the war crimes, it's like, hey, and like you what?
You must murder the children this way. Within the rules of our...
Hey, that's a bit much.
That's too much.
Don't be being nasty.
Yes.
Only kill the way we want you to kill.
That's right.
Don't be dropping water on their head. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it is mad. Yeah, it is mad. But also, like, it's and similar in the UFC. Once you get people in, like, trying to regulate people, once you get them into the, you know, white hot fucking delirium of war, and then try to be like, but you must keep within the rules. You are there. This is a murderous fucking life or death conflict. They're going to do awful shit.
A bunch of concussed people trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, don't grab them that way.
Yes. You mustn't hit below the belt.
Get your fingers off the cage.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
He's fighting for his life out there.
Shut the fuck up.
Off.
That's right.
Tell you what's one of my favorite UFC moments of all time is, I don't know if you saw it. It was a while ago now, and I think I spoke about this on my old podcast at the time. But Paddy Pimblett just won a fight and then gave like a really impassioned speech about male mental health.
The Scouser.
Yeah.
As he had just given someone brain damage.
He had just like turned someone's mind into mush, plastered their nose across their face, choked him unconscious.
Brains are scrambled eggs.
And he was like, lad, we need to talk.
We need to talk more about our feelings. All right, Pat. All right. You're just after...
I was pointed at his unconscious body going, fuck you.
That child...
Lads, men's mental health is really important. Well, you've just turned his mental health into fucking soup.
That's right. His children are going to grow up with a father drinking soup out of a fucking straw, and you're just, we need to look after each other. Yeah. I mean, MMA, like, really, and apparently, like, isn't fucking owl... Evil Rotten McGregor is trying to get some fucking bare knuckle thing off the ground at the minute, like where you know, you don't even have the fucking protective things on your fists. So it's basically just McGregor is trying to monetize traveler call out culture.
100%. But have you ever seen the aftermath of those bare knuckle matches, like the ones that are like sanctioned? As in, I think Dana White had a hand in it for a little bit, but like
a cock in it, dirty bastard.
The organizing body, so they still use like hand wraps,
right?
But because because knuckles are so like pointy, like they're just all cut as fuck. Like they all are just covered in blood by the end of the match.
After a bare knuckle boxing match. Yeah.
It's crazy. And they all have broken hands as well.
Of course you're thinking about a street fight. Like it was just fucking useless McGee and fat cunt Maguire fighting drunk on a night. They're fucking in bits after it. And this is they're fucking pudgy, useless, untrained cunts. Imagine now trained killers basically.
Yeah.
Going mano a mano, no fucking protective gear whatsoever. Sure, it's just like, what are we going to have next? Like, you literally, after that, it's going to be like fucking actual dueling where you take out a gun and shoot people and they'll license it and whatever, you know?
Apparently
and we'll watch, People will watch.
Well, I mean, it's happened before. The Colosseum, Gladiator 2 is coming out soon.
Right.
Which looks bad. It doesn't look great, does it?
Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Mescal looks an absolute fucking dream.
He looks amazing.
Chiseled out of marble.
He looks amazing.
Yes.
The film.
But sure, what more do you want? Mescal with a sword, sulking most likely. Because he loves to sulk. So you're going to have, Mescal prancing around, showing his arse. Next thing, fucking Denzel Washington is there saying, King Kong ain't got shit on me. And then it's like, great movie. What? Like, what you're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be at least watchable.
It's going to be brilliant fun.
Yeah.
For sure fun.
There you go.
For sure
What do you want from a movie?
For sure fun.
Fun.
I feel like I'm very intrigued as to whether Ridley Scott will be able to resist the urge to have Denzel Washington saying the N-word in ancient Rome.
I would say it's going to be like, he's going to want to give the viewers what they want. If he doesn't say it, because he wants to say, do you remember that's in like Training Day where he's like, shoot program, beep, 24-hour lockdown. You're going to be playing basketball in Pelican Bay. So sick. You've seen Training Day. I know you have. You've not seen Training Day. You stink. You stink now. No, there's one for you though. There is one for you to.
I still have. I've written down one. We were going to do a weekly movie recommendation where you tell me to watch something, and I wrote down one and still haven't watched it, and it was Goodfellas.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
fair, I did watch Gladiator. I did watch Gladiator.
You did. That's a long time ago. Now the Goodfellas thing, I'd love to watch that with you because I haven't watched it in a while, so maybe we can watch that together.
Should we try and I like to find like screenings of old films, like classics, and like picture houses and things.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Because I saw Jurassic Park in the cinema like recently.
You were saying that.
Unbelievable.
But so the great thing about cinema, you're locked in. You can't be on your phone. Like you turn off your phone and you can't pause it.
You fucking say that. The pausing thing, yeah. But I was at the cinema last night with Jamali.
Yeah.
Went to see A Quiet Place day one. Have you seen the first two?
Quiet Places. I saw the first one and I thought to myself, this wouldn't suit me, this environment of being quiet. I'd have the thought I'd have my arse eaten by an
throughout
alien.
the film, Mikey wouldn't last long here.
I'd be in trouble.
You'd have a rough old go of
because not all
just one, like you. It would take about 30 seconds, even if you happen to be like in the quietest place ever when it all kicked off and got to the point where everybody knows that you're supposed to be quiet.
Yeah.
Somebody would go, Mike,
yeah,
you need to go to the boats.
And
you'd go, huh?
No, I think I would just go, noise. And that my last word would be noise, and then literally before I finish saying it, like an alien thing just fucking rips the head off my shoulders.
I would recommend the second one. I was worried about it as a sequel. Second one, great. Third one, prequel.
Oh,
good. Lupita Nyong'o.
There we go.
I don't think I've said that right. But
12 Years a Babe.
Fuck.
Come on. There we go. Keep Fassbender away from her. Come on. Surely you've seen 12 Years a Slave. I
probably have. I think I have.
Good. I
think I have.
Fassbender's evil.
I don't remember.
Black people are hard done by.
This is that.
Ring any bells?
I think I like that bit.
Yeah.
But she's brilliant in it. Joseph Quinn.
Joey Quinn.
I didn't really know him before.
He played Junior B for O'Loughlin Gales.
Yeah, it's a real Irish name, isn't it? But he was one of the breakout stars from Stranger Things, I believe, which I haven't watched.
I refuse to watch that. Sure, it's porn. It's child porn.
It is child porn.
It is child porn.
There was a point in the final of the Euros where the little Spanish boy took off his shirt and I went, whoa,
easy. You know that was the ship that launched 1 million pedo wanks around the globe, which is not, we're against that.
Boo.
Boo.
But at A Quiet Place, did you see A Quiet Place in the cinema?
The first one, no, I saw it on like TV. But
so,
yeah.
Like, nervous film to watch in the cinema because it like plays with silence so much inherently and kind of the
fiddles with silence.
Yeah, and it like you're just worried that you're going to be in the wrong cohort
Yes.
and people are going to be chatty Cathys
Oh.
or rustly bustlies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to time your little minstrel grabs. You got to like wait for a big explosion and go,
Right.
no noise. You can't be making noise in the quiet bits.
In the fucking movie about the quiet.
But I swear to God, we get in Odeon. I don't think I'm ever going to an Odeon again.
Why? What's it
barring
done to you?
emergencies. It's it's cheap,
Yeah.
and I was very excited about the fact that tickets were like a $5 each.
Oh, I'm going there tonight.
But from moment one of being there, you go, "Oh, I know why this is a $5.
Right.
They're spending money on nothing.
There's a fella pissed in your ear.
None of this feels good."
Right.
From when you arrive to go to the toilet to get your popcorn,
There's mosquitoes in there.
none of it's good.
Right.
No,
You've got malaria now.
Everything's bad.
You've got AIDS from the seat.
Honestly, and just walking around, it's just, you know that vibe of like a swimming pool?
Oh, like, do I know what a swimming pool is? What do you mean?
But like, do you know like the walls all echo? There's nothing is cushioned.
Right.
Everything's hard.
You were on a wooden bench.
No,
In the Odeon?
not in the seat. Like the acoustically.
Right.
It's just got everything's bouncing around. It's all weird. But then we get into the screen, and it's like a long screen, and I'm like,
Right.
no, cinema.
You want a fat screen.
Yeah, and it's like you're really far away. The seats aren't very comfortable, and
You
there's
want
like
a screen like Lizzo, a big...
3 different people on their phones throughout the trailers, which is fine. The trailers are fair game, but it's
Yeah.
also like they did already have the one where it goes, "Please turn off your phone."
Yeah.
Like, that already.
He's already
happened.
asked you.
So-
Comply, you
So
pigs.
Kind of stop with that,
Right.
A bit, maybe.
Yeah.
And then guy is sitting behind us
Big guy.
during the trailers. He's big enough that I don't want any beef with him.
Right.
And throughout the trailers, he is cracking beers. He's there by himself. He's got a JD Sports bag.
Right.
He's cracking beers.
Going through a hard time, probably.
Really, really felt like a homeless man who had a $5 and wanted to sit down for 2 hours.
And what a better way to do it
Than in the Odeon.
then go in and watch The Quiet Place in the Odeon.
Now, throughout the trailers, he's there going, like a woman says something in one of the trailers and he goes, "That fucking bitch."
Whoa!
I was like, this is mad.
Wait now, hold on now. Let me rewind that back. There's a woman talking in the movies, you
Yeah.
mean? So he's referring to a character from a movie he hasn't seen
Yeah.
as a bitch.
Yeah.
Now, part of me thinks it's the fact that she's a female is just what's qualifying
I
her
think
for...
it's really ruffled his feathers
But if
to
you-
see a lady on the screen.
You think about this guy, JD Sportsbag, cracking cans. This is not a man who's had a good time with women in his life. You know what I mean?
I would also argue that women haven't had a good time with him.
Listen, these things go both ways. The pendulum swings up, it also swings back the other way, you know?
So, and then he's doing that like throughout. There's a cat in one of the trailers and he just goes, meow.
Now I'm getting on board with that. That's fun.
Like on some level, I
That's
was like,
sick.
this is kind of cool, but
Right.
I'm really not
Yeah.
feeling good about it.
Yeah.
But then, but then I was just hopeful, like maybe he just doesn't respect trailers.
Okay.
Like maybe the film's gonna be okay, and maybe he'll get wrapped up in the tension of the film so much that all of this will just kind of fade into the background. Same for the next few trailers. He's just chucking in the odd comment. He's throwing zingers out.
Do we see a dog up there? Do we get a bark out of the cunt?
Unfortunately not, but
Right.
I'm sure that would have happened.
Yeah.
And then it goes to like the opening thing of the actual film, you know, where it does the you know, the one where you see like David Kalinsky's signature and then the other woman, where
Right.
it like tells you the rating of the film and then it's got those 2
Yeah,
signatures.
yeah,
bottom left.
I do, yeah.
I promise when that comes up, he points at the 2 signatures and goes, "Who's that?"
How close is this cunt behind
right
you?
behind
Oh, like
me.
he's the
He's
seat
right there.
right behind you.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
he's actually behind Jamali, so I can kind of see him corner
Right.
of my eye. He's just there.
Now, let me ask you this. Is
Looming.
part of this not making it better? Like, this to me is fun.
No. But it's exactly
Who's
what
that?
you said earlier.
That's a laugh. That's a bit of
But
fun.
it's exactly what you said earlier, where you want the cinema because you're just locked in, focus on the film, undivided attention.
But if you can get a fat cunt drinking cans with a JD Sports bag, you know, saying funny things. That's not the end of the world. Pretending to be a cat behind you, a man pretending to be a cat behind you. That's pretty good. Life is boring and short. If you can have a fat cunt drinking cans, pretending to be a cat behind you, you say, yes, universe, I will take that.
Right. So,
thank you very much.
So the movie comes on.
Yeah.
And for the first little bit, he's okay.
Uh-huh.
And then, this isn't really a spoiler for the film.
Right.
There's a fairly heavily featured cat.
Why do you think he's come to the film?
And he just, it's not really in the trailers. And just every time the cat comes on screen, I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And he only did it like once or twice, and then he did stop. But I was like, if he does this throughout the whole film, it was the only like, the cat is obviously supposed to be someone you like really hold and really don't want to die in the film. You're like, no, not the cat.
Right.
The cat keeps like nearly dying and then coming back or whatever. And part of me was like, kill the cat.
Right.
Just so this cunt can't meow.
I'd say he would have
behind
left
me.
if you killed the cat. I think he's there for the cat.
So this is the next bit. He leaves at one point,
Okay.
and I think he went out the back because I didn't really see him leave.
Yeah.
But I saw him come back. While he was gone,
Yes.
there's a moment where they're walking through this like subway station, like obviously like kind of decimated subway station.
Right.
It's all echoey. They can kind of hear the aliens like
Yeah.
doing their little, you know, what's that language called? Nkosa.
Yeah.
Like-
Congolese.
Yeah, all that stuff. And then you hear this kind of like echoey like person talking, and I was like, oh, like there must be some kind of like gathering of people where they found somewhere they can talk without being found or whatever. And then it becomes very evident through the film, like the movement of the film and the sound not changing, that it's just one of the members of staff at the Odeon,
Right.
just outside the fire exit, Caribbean lady talking on the phone at full volume.
Get the fuck out
And
of
then
town.
we could just hear it.
Right.
And it was those echoey walls again that made it sound like it was maybe in the subway station and was part of the film. But it was
Right.
fully just a member of staff having
Just
a
out
conversation.
having a fag.
just behind
yapping.
the screen, and everybody could hear it. And I was like, what the...
Do an impression of the Caribbean lady.
She was nice to us at the popcorn desk. I don't want to be rude.
But that's like she was buttering
But just big like that. You don't know what you're talking about. And we're just sat there like...
Noise.
This is the quietest film of all time.
Right.
And you're just, this is insane.
But like, where is she right now? Like, she's like,
She's just outside the fire exit at the back of the screen.
Right.
So she's just in some corridor having a chat on her brain.
having a fucking
And just has no awareness that there's a screen right in there.
That's mad.
And everybody can hear her, right? So
That's like
kind of
working in
dies
the
where-
library
where-
and just fucking taking the call. Well, Joey, how the fuck are you, you cunt?
Surely you know where all the screens are if you work at
I'd
the
say
fucking
you left a
Odeon.
load in your one like cow shit last night. Holy God.
But then, so she kind of leaves, or
Right.
her break finishes, whatever. Myself,
Where's Catman right now?
Well, he's out at this point, and myself.
He's
and,
just purring around the lobby.
myself and Jamal had a little chuckle about.
Drinking out a little bowl of fucking saucer of milk in the lobby.
But it
Right.
had such a like it was myself and Jamali had a little chuckle because we both thought like, oh, they're gonna find this thing, you know, like it just changed the whole dynamic of the scene where you're like, oh, why are they following the noise of this person talking?
Right.
And it was just
It's
like,
just-
I was like, God, the sound design in this is great.
Right.
Like, it sounds like it's coming from everywhere. And then I swear to God, 2/3 into the film, Catman walks back in
Right.
from the front. I think he must have walked out the back because
Yeah.
I didn't see him go. Walks back in from the front and at full volume when he's halfway up the stairs goes, what did I miss?
And can you tell me this now? Does he at this point expect a response from anyone, or is he just kind of shooting words into the void?
He's just shooting words into the
jizzing
void.
words into the fucking darkness.
Yeah, I don't think he's expecting any nobody
Right.
gave him anything. But it was at that point where I kind of respected him.
Right.
I was like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
To go to the toilet during a film and come back and go, what did I miss?
But also, you have to understand this lad is shit faced. Like
He's
he's
fucked.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's getting absolutely lit up on a Tuesday night to come watch Quiet Place on his own and pretend to be a cat. Like this guy is so out of his mind.
Yeah, he's
like
fucked.
you're saying you wouldn't go back to the Odeon. You've sold the Odeon.
I think
to
what
me.
I will do is Odeon is just for films that I don't really care about watching.
Right.
And then you can just enjoy the chaos of there being actual crackheads in the screen with you.
Right.
But I think if it's a film I actually want to watch that has loads of silent bits,
I think I might go in there and smoke crack for the first time. And just treat it as a little fucking like kind of a heroin den.
but good film, would recommend.
Yeah.
In total.
Yeah, I had I had a gig there last night, and I'm gotten very because I'm on back on the sweeties, but I'm in the first 2 week stage of being back on antidepressants, and it's making me as mad as a bag of spiders.
Got a real zip to you.
Yeah, so like, you know, I since the breakup and stuff, I've been trying to stay off the booze, but like now I'm like, I like last night I was like, I actually need to drink a pint, like, or I'm just gonna fucking go up there and you know, just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be like Muhammad Ali up there, just shaking like a fucking leaf. Do you know what I mean?
But are we alcoholics?
Huh?
Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'll go off booze every so often, and then it's just so quick that as soon as someone goes, fancy a pint, I just go, yes, 100%.
I genuinely, one year I was like, I literally basically wrote a little manifesto about, like, you know, the ills of alcohol, and I'm going to stay off it, and you know, and I envisaged like a happier future where I don't drink and I look forward to mornings and all this stuff and I had this whole big plan, and I was telling people about it, and I was making videos. I'd written a small short novel, and then I went to a bar in Berlin. I got an Australian big guy that I liked. I was just all, Ross, pint. I was like, yes, and that was it. That was it.
That's it.
That was all it took.
The longest I lasted.
Ross, you want a pint? Yes.
The longest I lasted was
plan is over.
9 months of not drinking, and it was during the pandemic because nobody went, pint?
Yeah.
Because there was no pub to go to.
Yes.
Like, that was just when there was no offer of a pint.
Yeah.
But all it takes is like one, at most 2 offers of a pint.
That's right.
And it's over.
Last night though, it was a thing of like, I can feel I'm anxious, I'm a little afraid.
And it does help.
Yes.
It does help.
It does help.
It shuts some of the voices up.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, there's a little evil monkey in my head at the moment, little evil antidepressant monkey who's like, life is bad.
And he either loves or hates booze.
Right.
So it's like he either goes like, oh, thank you for the booze, or he runs away from the booze.
You drown him in Guinness.
You
literally waterboard him with Guinness. Like the little evil monkey's like, you shouldn't have broke up with your ex, you stupid cunt. No one will ever love you again. And then you just fucking just drown him with.
There's no Geneva Convention in your mind.
No, absolutely. There's no.
You're waterboarding the cunt.
There's no rights for this monkey. There is no right. And I'm not even waterboarding him. Okay, I'm just drowning the cunt. So then you drowned little evil monkey in your mind with some booze. So like we were doing it with like Chris Higgins from last
2 weeks ago.
Yes. The episode 2 weeks ago, Higgy was on. He's so fucking funny, and I got, because I started comedy with Higgins, and
that's such a nice, like, it really is a nice kind of friendship.
Yes,
and it's very specific to the people you started comedy with.
Yeah,
or like people who were there around the start when you were just really figuring it all out and like so excited.
That's right,
to be doing it. You're just like, oh my god, we're doing
yes,
it. We're doing the. Oh, are we going to be comedians? And then the ones that make it through are like,
oh!
Like you just look at each other like, hey, you know Paul Rudd on Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, it's so great.
Right? So me and Higgins started together and we were great friends. We were immediately great friends, and we've remained good friends. And it is like cool that it's 9 years later now than when we first met, and we're both doing it full time. So it's cool. Nice. But I was always intimidated by him because he's so good. Like, he's one of those comedians, like, there's not that many for me that I'm like, you're just better. Like, this stuff is so original, it's so you're so natural. I'm just like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me, because it brings me back to then when I was there, and I was like, fuck.
You're fighting for 7 minutes on the open mic or whatever, and you're like, oh,
that's right.
Fucking...
But also that feeling of, oh, he's so good, I'm not that good. And then maybe you need to be that good. And sometimes when I'm with him and we're doing comedy, I feel that again. And then so
it's a good feeling to have.
A little bit, yeah.
You don't want to be... Two things are true. You want to be the best on the gig.
Yes.
You don't want to be the best on every gig that you're doing. You need some gigs where you get kicked up the ass. and go, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
okay,
you do.
Let's get cooking with this.
100%.
Fuck me, I need to gig more. I think I had that on Monday. I had to follow Joanne McNally and was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Good Lord, me hamstrings are fucking... Doctor, you're like literally asking you have to be stretched off the
And
stage.
I'm such a stupid cunt that she gets like obviously an enormous like, wow, when she comes on like
Asher
the
lad.
craziest pop.
Christ has come back.
Yeah, and it was
has
the-
a 12-inch cock.
The day after the Euro final, and I walked on in a Spain top like,
Right.
just like, let's try and lose. I'm already gonna lose. It's Joanne, but let's fucking let's fuck shit up.
Yeah. Let's literally go on and get a baby, pour petrol on it, and light it on
Well, it was
fire.
classic. I did like a couple little like bits. To, you do your like good bits at the start, and then I was like, oh, I'll chuck in a new. It was like a charity gig. It was at the store, but it was like, you like I've got this new thing I'm working on, and that first time where you've got a new bit you've done a few times, and you're like, I think that's good. I think that's working good. Now. And then you bring it into the main set, and it has to follow your actual good jokes.
Yeah.
And I put it in, and I was like, oh, it needs work.
That's a steaming pile of dog shit that you just heard. That's something I won't be saying
And
again.
you're like, oldest bit you can find in your brain. You're just like, fuck. What about autism?
Fuck. I think women are good.
Women are different, aren't they? Fuck.
Just start farting, just hoping that's funny, isn't it?
Something. Take it. Jesus Christ.
No, there is that panic. I mean, last night, so I ended up closing the gig last night. I probably should have opened it, but I was actually too anxious and I needed to get a few pints in me. I was just feeling a bit fucking mad, and my brother was coming to see me as well, Johnny, and he was there with his boyfriend Shaq and some other very muscly Scottish fella called Rob, and I always want to do good when my brother's there. I want to do good all the time, but I just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He's my little brother, and I want him to be proud of me. And I had to say that in an accent because I felt vulnerable. So I couldn't be myself.
I know
when
the
I said
exact
that.
Feeling. I know the
Sometimes I
exact
put on
feeling.
an accent when I say something sincere, like I've been feeling very sad the last month.
finding things hard.
I am finding things very difficult at the minute.
Should we bring back?
I've been very sad the last month.
Anytime you need to say something like too vulnerable on the podcast, you should do it in the voice of Joey Sterling,
Joey
the
Sterling.
horse that lives under Mike's bed.
That's right.
I'm Joey Sterling. I'm a vessel for the boys' emotional vulnerabilities.
Absolutely.
I'm a horse that lives under Mike's bed. Things are difficult at the minute. I'm not sure where I'm headed.
I'll be honest with you, I've gone back on the antidepressants, and I'm afraid that will stunt my healing from my current heartbreak. And that whenever I come off the antidepressants again,
I'll be back to square one.
I'll be back to square one, and I will have done none of the healing that I needed to do from my current breakup.
And my friends and companions will not have time for my healing because they think I'm over it already because I've been so happy for the year and it will be too long since the breakup for people to feel okay about the fact that I'm not okay.
That's
Is that
right.
all right?
Is that okay? Is that okay with everybody? I'm also afraid that if I numb my feelings now, then there might have been a possibility that I felt that I should have gotten back together, but I forwent that option because I was numb and I thought I was happy because I was on drugs. But really, I was not happy. I was lonely and in despair. But I didn't know that because of all the drugs I was on. Does that make sense to you?
I'm Joey Sterling.
I'm Joey Sterling.
The horse that lives under Mike's bed.
That lives under Mikey's bed.
Right, we'll do an ad read, will we? That's one of the best bits of podcasting that's ever been done.
Woo! Nice.
God, do you want to go your rose-tinted spectacles for the ad read?
Yes.
Do you have an experience of that?
I love that.
Everything's worse for me now.
Is
Isn't
it?
it class for you?
Yeah.
Isn't stuff being green good?
Oh, lad, that's very soothing. That makes me feel like things in the world are quite good and chill.
Isn't it class?
It's quite relaxing.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm in a beach resort in Portugal a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is kind of sun-kissed.
Yeah.
Piss-kissed.
Piss-kissed.
You know? Piss-kissed, brother.
Piss goes, brother. So,
Kiss the piss.
here's what we do.
What do we got today?
We've got Manscaped. We're brought to you by Manscaped.
There we go.
Typically, brilliant start to their ad read. Sizzle alert.
Sizzle a light.
This summer, let the only thing smoking at your barbecue be the grill.
Nice.
Not your grooming game. Get ready for the ultimate cookout season with Manscaped. It's a barbecue themed ad read. I probably haven't had the first barbecue.
An outside cocaine party, as we call it, with my group of friends.
I'm sure the sponsor will love that.
Yes.
Whether you're flipping burgers or cannonballing into the pool, very American to assume anyone we know has a pool.
Or fizz bombing an ecstasy tablet. Do you know what fizz bombing is?
Yeah, but you drop it into a drink?
No, lad. It's when you
like a baraka?
It's when you shove it up your ass.
Oh no!
Why not? Straight into the bloodstream.
To be fair, if you trimmed your ass hairs, you could shove.
Yes! You shave, you have a lovely smooth ass, you shove pills up it, and by God, your asshole's jaw is going to be swinging. Just
twerking. That's what twerking is.
Telling the gooch dad loves it.
Fire up make sure your meat looks neat. That's good.
Oh,
with
that's
the Performance
nice.
Package 5.0 Ultra. Fire up your grooming routine and keep it cool with Manscaped. Head to manscaped.com and use code parenting20 for 20% off and free shipping. Let's make this summer sizzle for all the right reasons
to stick drugs up your bald ass.
It is real sweaty. I'm wearing Manscaped boxers right now, which come in one of the performance
and I can
packages.
smell them.
And they're good.
How good they are.
They're good, and you need some. They've got the lawnmower. I'm using the beard hedger to keep my mustache in check, which a lot of people on the internet hate. They're not liking the mustache.
Your mustache?
Yeah.
Who's been giving you grief over your pedo mustache?
People think that people unfollowed me for the mustache rather than the Joe Biden jokes.
Oh! Hey now!
But I've got a good new opening joke about having a mullet and a mustache, so they're there forever.
Yeah, and it's the year of the pedo. Let a young
let's not say that word in the ad read.
Let a young hot pedo have his, have his fun. You're a young hot pedo. Fucking own it.
No, that's Shane Byrne's podcast.
All right. Young hot pedos.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code parenting20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use code parenting20. Manscaped, the perfect way to get your patties sizzling hot this summer.
If you're lonely from your heartbreak and you want to feel less insecure when you're having sex with a new person because you feel like you're hairy and disgusting and unlovable, then get Manscaped and make your asshole, your balls, and your cock shiny and smooth.
Right, shuffle that way a little bit. We're doing a new segment on the podcast.
New segment.
This is so exciting.
This is going to blow your fucking tits off.
I've done 15 minutes of admin and I'm chuffed with myself.
Let's fucking God. So this is a segment.
Just a bit of advice.
Where we've basically requested that the listener either send us advice, right, or ask for advice from us. That's right. And it's based on, if you've listened before, you'll have heard Sam, the incredibly rude Australian man who sends us video messages every so often. He does, yeah. He called me. He's called me, you fucking pussy. You got to fucking stop complaining about shit, you pussy. And he's like, just a bit of advice. Big fan of the pod. I'm not a creep. I've got 2 kids. Not 2 kids. Just a bit of advice. He doesn't really understand the term advice, but you know what I mean? He's trying his best. And by God, the Australian sun has given him brain damage. But listen, much love, Sam. You're a king. Here we go. We have a voice note from Lucy. I'm prioritizing voice notes because they're more fun. Deece. All right, Luce.
Hey, guys.
Juicy Lucy.
Love you. Love the podcast. This is what I want advice on because I have none to offer you. I met a cute farmer boy recently with land and football skills and all that sort of thing. Not who I normally go for, but he was nice. So I need advice from a fellow farmer, Mike and Vittorio, weigh in. What should I say in my DM to this man? How do I entrance a farmer? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. And it says, love you guys. Hope I make it on that pod. Nice. Shout out Lucy for sending that in. Juicy Lucy, you're a queen. The fact that you're even considering and interested in a man, a landed man, a man of land, is a great sign. It shows that you're a woman with substance, a woman who actually wants a future on this planet. So what I would say... Somebody has to be wearing this. You want to hook this man in. Right. Listen. How are you hooking in a farmer? Huh? How are you hooking in a farmer? Because I know how it works I know how farmers approach women. Right. Well, daughter. Yeah. Things like that, you know. That's right. You approach her well? You're looking well. How are you getting on? Jesus, you'd be able to plough a field now by the looks of your legs on you.
Could she maybe dress up as a cow?
Here's the thing.
Animal
right?
prints?
This is what we're thinking. You're not way off track here. First off, on a serious note, you got to prove to him that you're, a good God-fearing woman, a family woman, a woman with values, morals.
Hold the Bible.
I mean? That's right.
Hold the Bible.
Hold the Bible. Have a picture of like you and your mother and your father, like all kind of like lifting something together.
Make that your phone background.
That's right. You all just lifting something.
A bale of cum.
Yes, a bale of cum. Vittorio, that's a very me thing. I like that. I appreciate that. That's you're getting into Mikey land over here. A bale of cum.
I feel like the only thing that has ever happened over the course of 80 episodes of this podcast is I've moved towards you and you've stayed stoutly where you are.
I have not pushed
I'm the Labour Party and you're the Tories. You've moved further to where you are and I've had to pander to your audience.
You've had to, yeah. You've had to. I see at times it actually killing your soul as a man who believes in like theatre and high art and like great stuff, just having to say things like lifting a bale of cum and what have I even gotten into this for?
I've got prospects.
No, but so Lucy, a picture of you and your family, you're all lifting something. If you could maybe, if there's some kind of little video of you on a tractor lawnmower even, I know you don't have a tractor, you're not a farmer.
Calendar.
Right.
Make a sexy cowgirl calendar.
Right. If you've got like a shovel, maybe a video of you killing something with a shovel.
Daisy Dukes?
Huh?
Do you think short jean shorts?
Yeah, jean shorts. Oh, definitely jean shorts. So if you have a roommate maybe that you don't like, I don't know if you're in a house share, if you could maybe, and they're small and killable, killing your roommate with a shovel, if you could have, because that will just show that you not only have the ability to kill, but also that you understand in situations pests have to be put down.
You need to do what you need to do.
Right. So if you've like someone like that you're living with that's constantly leaving the toilet seat up, or that they're like, that they eat your fucking pesto from the fridge, and just show...
Let's just double check that they haven't used a pseudonym, unless you live with Mike, because he does all those things.
I do those things, but you're not going to put me down. I'm a fucking brick shit house, right? You're going to break the shovel before you break me, baby. That's the truth on that one. But seriously, if you want to get this fucking guy in, just be like a decent, sound woman who has fucking solid family values. Show this man there's a future there. That you'll go look at a tractor with him to price it. That you're willing to fucking, you have to, if you're going to get with a farmer, you have to change. You have to become...
He's not moving.
He ain't moving. That's deep within his blood.
Yeah.
That man is half turnip.
You're going to have to be the only flexible one in this relationship.
You have to do yoga. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to put your fucking leg over your head.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
We love you, Lucy.
Let me see.
Go forth. Lift heavy things.
We've got another voice one, but I think we'll save that for a second. We'll do one of the text ones first.
Cool.
We have... Just
right.
listen.
Okay, sorry.
They have to...
it's hard for me to do that.
Yes. So this one's from Shannon, and I'm going to say you're not going to like the start of this, but I think you'll like the end of it.
Okay, but you could lose me from the start.
Can you ride the wave? Can you try to ride the wave?
I'll try, but I think it's cruel that you've left this in if it's something negative towards me. But go on.
No, this is from Shannon.
Yeah.
And should we read out the text ones in the style of Sam?
Yes, please.
Just a bit of unqualified medical advice.
Yeah.
Mike should go get his hormone levels tested. His particular brand of mania and chaos, as well as things like insomnia, horniness and competitiveness, reminds me a lot of someone I used to know who had verified testosterone imbalance. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do about it once you know, but at least the next time someone calls you insane or obnoxious, you can tell them you've been diagnosed with high testosterone and make them feel both repentant and inferior.
Right. Okay, now... that I do see how you'd say I liked it at the end because they are actually trying to help me.
No, but I thought you would like excessively high testosterone.
I mean, that's sick that you're saying I'm high T.
Because a lot of the times when people tell us to check our T, I don't think they're saying that it's too high.
No way. No. She's saying my T might be too high. Do you know what's funny with that? Because I've actually been to a doctor but before when my willy didn't work for a while. But that was more an anxiety thing. But I would go there for him to give me like Viagra's and stuff. But he was a Polish quack, so he was always trying to fucking.
Where do you find these people?
I found him in this little fucking little
Toys R
corner
Us.
of. I found him in a cupboard in Toys R Us. Now he said he was a doctor, but he was also wearing a Batman costume. It was hard to know.
And the Dr. Gotham deserves.
Dr. Gotham deserves. But he was trying to get me onto. So he was just like, maybe you do this testosterone. A lot of my customers do it. They think really good. They give them energy, give them, hard cock. I don't think he said cock, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but he said
Penis.
something like that. Yeah, flute maybe, hard flute. But and then he was like, so maybe you do the testosterone. And I was like, all right, yeah, maybe. And then I was like, is there any side effects to that? And then he was like, prostate cancer.
Prostate cancer, small balls and balding, I believe.
And then I was like, well, I probably wouldn't want to have prostate cancer. And he was like, but don't worry, this is in your 50s. I was like,
Feels early for cancer.
I know, but then in my head I was like, he's Polish. That's a long life. Healthy Polish life. You know what I mean? 50s. But so I hear what you're saying there about horniness, competitiveness, manic energy. What I didn't like is she's like, so then when someone calls you this or obnoxious, I was like, who's been calling me obnoxious? Do you know what I mean? Have you? No, I don't think so. So that hurt my feelings a little bit and made me think people are calling me obnoxious, and I didn't like that. Surely you don't call a man who's suffering from heartbreak and on medication obnoxious. Surely he's doing his best.
This. I know we always say let's keep this in as a theme of the podcast, and like recurring characters, we're awful at it. This has to stay.
This has to stay.
Vulnerable moments are only done in the voice of Joey Stalin.
100%.
This is staying.
Okay,
it's staying. We have some more stuff.
I am actually glad you said that. Thank you for that advice.
Because the Polish man was suggesting you take more testosterone, but this suggestion is that you're too much T.
She's saying
you might have to take like estrogen or something.
Right. I mean, I could have to take. I was taking my girlfriend's pill for a while when we were together, just for fun.
Just to double make sure you're not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, because there is something quite motherly about me, as most people know. I've got kind of a certain level of hips, and I can't see one, but it feels like there might be a vagina somewhere.
These shorts are a woman in the 80s, a mum from the 80s going for a run.
Yeah,
but they are crazy short.
Right.
They are like.
Well, actually,
people are losing their minds.
They're not as short as they appear, but they're
riding up a little bit.
They rode up a bit.
Mine are riding up right now as well.
They both made it.
We're giving a lot here. We're showing a lot of skin. If you're only listening, maybe jump over to the YouTube to see the sheer amount of skin and cool sunglasses on show. Right,
it's pretty sick. Like in the Patreon this time, I swear to God, I've got this little mankini I'm going to put on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm loving this, to be honest.
I'm loving the advice.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
Just be advice. Right.
So we have Dear Mrs. Rice and Angelone. Mike, 2 months ago, I messaged you about extra tickets for your Dublin show because I was going to buy them for my girlfriend. This is from Maria, by the way.
Right.
Girlfriend of 4 years as a present, but they were sold out. And 2 days later, the night of your show, she cheated on me. How and why did you do this?
Whoa!
Sincerely yours, Maria.
Whoa, so Maria's a lesbian?
Yep.
Right. And what's happened
is she wanted tickets to your show.
She wanted,
was too slow booking them, was busy doing DIY, fixing cars.
Right.
Building things.
Playing camogie for Freshford in Kilkenny.
Yep. Yeah. And Maria asked you,
Big
classic
Mike.
message, which you hate to receive, any extra tickets for this sold out show?
Sold out show.
No.
Because it's sold out. It's the funny thing about when there's no tickets left, there aren't any more of them.
Yeah. Occasionally they'll be released on the day, but I'll announce that. And not specifically to you, because who the fuck are you?
Whoa, I don't like that. No. You are special. Don't listen to him. Do kid message about it. Come on. We must love our children. We must treat them with care and affection and kiss their wounds.
But you said no. You were unkind. You didn't love your children.
Right.
You said no to that. And instead of going to the show, Maria's lovely girlfriend cheated on her.
Right.
The night of your show.
Now.
And if you'd given them tickets,
yes,
that wouldn't have happened.
Well, what I'm going to say is this, Maria. Being gay is a sin. And
straight off the bat.
So
let's clear something up first.
Right. Let's just get that.
Your first mistake
was
being a woofter.
That's right. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, but
It didn't end well for them.
No, they were hot sulfur, killed everyone from the sky, from God. God shit out hot sulfur out of his ass. Why? Because people were putting stuff up each other's bums, and ladies were,
because sodomy is the
scissoring
bum
on
stuff.
roofs.
Is Gomery the licking dude?
Yeah. That's lick and do, and sodomizing is pummeling bum.
Pummeling bum.
Yeah, bum. Yeah. So that's the first thing.
Although in a way,
right,
I would argue, and this is me arguing on your behalf here,
right,
if someone's going to cheat, they're going to cheat, and you want them to do it you want to find out as early as possible. You want it to happen as early as possible, so you can get out. So if anything, if you'd gone to Mike's show and she hadn't cheated,
6 more months of your life is going to be wasted.
Exactly. And now you can find a nice man.
Right. A good agricultural man who owns a bit of land and who's willing to sometimes pretend to be a woman to make you come. Do you know what I mean? This is what people don't understand. Okay, so this is my thing. So people are like, oh, even if you're like straight or like, even if you're a straight guy, right? And you're like, oh, I'm looking for this girl that'll make me happy that I can live with. Think to yourself, yeah, but I get on so well with Jeff. And Jeff and me get on so well and we have such a laugh. Jeff may be willing once a week to pretend to be a woman. You fuck Jeff, you live with Jeff, and you're happy. Similarly...
He could wear a belt and make his dick look like a strap-on.
Yes, 100%. And it is similarly with, like, with a lady. If you're like, oh, I'm lesbian, I need a girl or something like that. Yeah, but maybe you just get a guy who has a farm, chickens, vegetables he can provide for you, feed you, water you, and then once a week, you throw a wig on him, he tucks it in. Do you know what I mean? Let's be more.
His gooch.
Yeah, let's try to be a little bit more creative. But Maria, I'm sorry that happened. But look, a leopard doesn't change its spots. If this is someone that was gonna cheat, it was gonna happen now or later. Great to get out of the way now. Move on. Get someone who's gonna fucking treat you right because you're a legend, and we love you, and we will. If I see you, I'll breastfeed you. Maria,
I've just cheated on a girl called Maria, and suddenly that name will never mean a thing to me.
Maria, I cheated on her, but now I have gonorrhea, and I shall never get rid of the warts along my anus, but it is God's will to have punished me for adulteration. Maria. There you go. Solved. Your problems are solved. You're happy now. Forever.
This one's from Joshua Mangin.
Josh. Mangy.
I had shot these over on Insta, but here it is conveniently repackaged in Gmail as per instructions. We love that.
Nice.
We fucking love
Following
that.
the rules.
Thank you for making the
Classic
show.
Joshy
It's always a highlight of my week. Easiest Patreon I've ever jumped on. Listen to Josh.
Sick.
Listen to Josh.
Sick. Jump
also,
on it.
Priority always given to the advice from the Patreons rather than the scum.
Yeah.
The gay fat pigs. We haven't called them that in forever.
No, because they've been behaving themselves. But once they step out of line...
Gay fat pigs.
Gay fat pigs.
Here we go. It's a voice note one from Joshua. And
Yes.
from memory, I think Joshua does an Australian accent. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, champions. Just calling in with a bit of advice. This one's mostly aimed at Vito. Just take the money, cunt. What are you doing fucking around with some sort of LLC or whatever? You're saying that me and 2,000 other old dickheads bunging you money each month and you just got all your tuppence stuck in the piggy bank. And don't try to blame poor Michael for all this, right? You decided that before you can get your hard-earned farthings, you need a nomadic storytelling farmhand to bring you a notarized document. Who's the numpty in that situation, him or you, huh? Just throw it all on your debit card. King Charlie doesn't need to know. Mikey doesn't even need to know. He doesn't know what half of it is. Give him $40, a bump of Coke, and a chocolate orange. He's going to be right as rain. Yeah, so lie to the government, lie to your friend, keep the money. Or don't, I'm not your dad, and it's just a bit of advice. And Mikey, keep up the bit where you torpedo the adverts. Delights me every time. Champion of the proletariat, sticking it to the corpos. Love it. But Michael, do keep an eye on old dress circle Vittorio there. I think he may be stealing money from you.
That was the greatest message I've ever heard in my life.
Joshua.
Josh is king. King Josh. I mean, to start off by just calling us, champions. He's calling us champions. I mean, I was won over from the start.
And then his advice from me was avoid tax, take all the Patreon money, give you $40 and a bump of Coke and a chocolate orange every month.
What I like is he advises you to steal from me and then warns me and goes,
Mike, keep an eye on Vittorio. I think he's stealing from you. Enjoy the chocolate orange.
I mean, Joshy, I hear you. We have figured out the Patreon thing. We have gotten money out. So we're all good on that one.
Most of it.
I have to do some stuff, paperwork stuff that I'm incapable of, that I have to figure out. I've been very overwhelmed recently with just life stuff, and it depresses me how
I'm finding things difficult.
I'm finding things overwhelming and difficult. And part of me feels like I will never achieve anything because I am not able to get to grips with adult life.
Basic admin eludes me.
Everything overwhelms me, and I feel incapable of completing even the simplest of tasks.
One unread email ruins my day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every single day.
I mark it as unread. I leave it alone until beyond the point where anything can be done about it, and then I delete it.
It was from my mother telling me she's very sick.
So here's a jumping off point. A final little bit of advice. We've got one that'll just be Patreon specific because I think it'd suit the Patreon better. So jump over to there, patreon.com/parenting.
Sweet.
A final little bit of advice from Nicola de Horst.
Go on, Nicola.
I think you're the best.
Tricky Nicky.
I think she's Nicola the best.
Nicola the best. Not the worst. You the best.
I went to the straight in, no kissing, no hello, no big fan of the pod.
Huh, Nick.
Kind of like it, but kind of don't. I went to the best gig I've ever been to on Saturday, the band Idols, and their Glastonbury set this year is one of the best things I've ever seen. Get it watched immediately on iPlayer, and for fuck's sakes, get tickets to see them live at Ali Pally right now. I think there's a few tickets left for 30th of November. Just a bit of advice.
Just a bit of fucking advice.
Just a bit of advice.
Nice.
Idols.
Right. Yes.
Left,
idolatry.
Supposedly left-leaning punk band, anti-establishment, but it does have a whiff of that, Brewdog punk.
Commie scum.
No, but it's like centrist dad at the core of it.
Ah.
Do you know what I mean? Where they're just it's branded as punk, but it's a bit... But I have heard they're amazing live, and I like the videos in their live shows.
Well, hold on, what are you talking about here now? You're saying they're young people, right? Young, dumb, full of cum?
Probably in their 30s, maybe 40s.
Blue hair, cock piercings.
They've got all funky hair tattoos and all, yeah.
Right. And you're telling me that they're kind of saying, hey, we need to pool together all the means of production and everyone should be paid the same and no one should be better than anyone else.
And they are all posh boys from very, very wealthy families.
Right. And they've got, they go home for Christmas and ride horses.
It's like the image of representing the working class and the proletariat, but they're really... and they're putting on this, mate, and they're very posh. They're doing they've cocknified their accents.
Okay, so they've done that thing of where we're going to go we're going to move down the social classes in appearance.
In appearance to get the money and then bring up. They're kind of the opposite of Robin Hood.
They come down, fleece the fucking poor, and then bring it back up and throw it in the swimming pool.
That's the accusations that have been leveled at them. I don't think being from a wealthy family prevents you from having those ideals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why are you poking me for?
Because you're from rich.
My mum's a bouncer.
Huh? She is too, lad. Big fat baldy bouncer.
My mum's a bouncer now.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
D, mate. You've had too much, mate.
Not tonight, mate. How much have you had? Take a walk around the block, come back again. I don't think that prevents you from holding those ideals, and often people who've had to interact with that stuff, people get annoyed when people who've been to Oxford or super lefty or anti-establishment. It's they've had to interact with the cuntiest of cunts for a lot of time, so maybe they're the most aware of those sorts of things. I do think the accent thing is probably an issue.
But so here's what I'll say about any of it. It's a rich person didn't ask to be rich any more than a poor person asked to be poor. And if they're like, you know, spreading a good message now, this whole thing of like, well, they're actually from wealth. It's like, yeah, but it's better than them
It's not their fault.
doing nothing and just being like fucking right wing and, anti-social welfare and anti-helping the poor. If they're actually giving, let them do it. What?
Yeah.
I
who
just don't
fucking
understand.
cares?
Like, you'd be criticizing them if they were doing the other thing
Yeah.
as well, and they were leaning into their privilege and trying to fucking send a message of fucking, extreme capitalism and, the strong and smart take everything and the poor can go fuck themselves,
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
leave them alone.
Yeah, and also their live shows do look unbelievably great. Like the energy they pump into it is like crazy.
Sick.
Crazy good. Speaking of live music gigs, I went to see Bombay Bicycle Club
Right.
last week. Unreal.
Is there a bicycle element to the show or no?
No bicycle element.
Right.
Zero bicycle element. But it was really nice because they're like North London boys. And the gig was at Ali Pali in the park. And they were like, we wrote this song in a bedroom where you can see Ali Pali. Like when we were teenagers, this is crazy to be doing this show right now.
What's Ali Pali?
Alexandra Palace.
Oh, nice. Is that a park?
Well, it's like a huge like
Right.
venue, but then
Okay.
there's a park outside and they did it in the park.
Sick.
And it was just like, I think it really like clarified for me, authenticity is everything.
Right.
In performances, in gigs and whatever.
Yeah.
They're dorks.
Okay.
They're real dorks. The music has loads of different influences. It's really like intellectual music, but it's just like the guy's a dork. He's a little skinny bald guy with little glasses in like little low cut Doc Martens. But he is just like intensely loving the music, performing the music, loving the crowd.
Oh.
Like he doesn't need to pretend to be Matty Healy. He doesn't need to pretend to be fucking whoever, like with a bravado or whatever. He's a dork. He loves it. He's having a great time. And it's just so easy to buy into what he's doing.
Oh, nice.
It's class.
Oh,
It's class.
It's like seeing someone who's fluent in themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
That's
it's-
really what it felt like.
And it's such a beautiful thing to behold. And you're like, oh, you're playing everything about you, the way you're moving, the sound, everything is playing the exact bing note of who you are.
Yeah.
And
So
everyone
good.
comes everywhere.
Bumped into Luca
So-
Dunn at that gig.
Oh,
Shout out Luca
Luca.
Dunn, big fan of Luca Dunn. She has pals who secretly listen to our podcast,
Yes.
kind of shamefully.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, they say nasty things, but I don't like it. So shout out to Luca Dunn's pals.
There you go.
They only
Job
figured out
done.
like last week that we used code names for our partners.
Right.
They were like, that's weird names for them, for their girlfriends. And they like asked Luca and she was like, yeah, that's not what they're called.
Yeah.
So funny. But they were there and C-Mat was one of the support acts. You know
Okay.
C-Mat?
Yeah, no.
She's
I
from
don't.
Meath. She's like on the up. She's opening for everybody at the minute.
Right.
Doing really, really well. Really, really good. In between all the support acts, there was a DJ who was doing some of the most horrific pandering I've ever seen anyone attempt to do.
What was he saying?
'Cause
Like,
obviously-
women should be allowed to drive kind of thing.
Like basically that
Right.
bad. He just kept spinning. You know when a DJ, you can tell a DJ's lost confidence when
Yeah.
they play like 20 seconds of each song.
Yeah.
And
he
they're
goes,
like, oh, hey, here's another one. You'll like
Yeah.
this one.
Asians aren't evil.
And just like,
Just-
make some noise.
Yeah.
And like, he was pulling it all out of the bag. So like, he kept like, because obviously people just walk away when the support act's not on. He's just there to keep a bit of vibe in the fucking park.
Yeah.
And he's just there like, no, come back. So a couple things he did. He would go like, you all love this one. Sing along to this one. Before every single song.
Yeah.
Before every single. Any old school hip hop fans? Woo. And then he, like a couple people would. And he's like, yeah, you'll love this. Played it.
They didn't love it.
Nobody sang
They
along.
didn't
Nobody
love
did.
it.
And then he goes, any new hip hop fans? He's scrambling.
He's scrambling, yeah.
Scrambling. Give me a cheer if you like new hip hop. It's you know a new comedian
Yeah.
being like, we're like, give us a cheer if you.
If you're here tonight,
and then he
who
goes,
here likes music?
yeah, mate. I think he actually said that at one
Right.
point. And then that got barely a woo because everyone was like, what the fuck are you
Who
doing?
here breathes in and out oxygen?
And then he goes at one point, he goes, give us a cheer if it's coming home because it was the day before the Euros. And I
Right.
was like, bro, you
Yeah.
are scrambling
Yeah.
right now.
You think
So
Southgate's a
funny.
legend?
And then just as they're like built, he kept doing like 5 minutes until Bombay Bicycle Club are on. I was like, yeah, okay, come on.
Nice.
And then I swear to God, at one point, just a real last grasp at affection from the audience.
Yeah.
My mum and dad are here.
Oh!
Give it up for my mum and dad.
If
And
everyone booed, it would make my life.
8 people went, woo! It was just really underwhelming.
Yeah,
It's so funny if everyone went, boo!
What I do like is it seems like as a collective audience in a very cruel, gladiatorial way, like Colosseum-esque way, everyone just let this man hang. Like
consistently. There was 3 support acts.
Yeah.
He was on for 20 minutes in between. He was on for as long as the headliners were.
So it seems like to me in this way, like people just, which happens as well sometimes, like in audience, if someone is on stage and people can smell the weakness and everyone in the audience decides, we shall let him die.
Yeah.
We shall watch him die slowly and painfully. We will not help him.
Yeah.
It's just him drowning, being like, can anyone help? And like literally 20,000 people standing beside the pool that he's drowning in.
And nobody's like gleeful about it. Everyone's just like, that's such a shame.
I cannot help you, friend. My body, mind and soul will not let me bail you out.
Because then I might drown.
That's right.
If I'm the only person who cheers for your mum and dad, how does that make me look?
Also, if we cheer right now, you might not quit. And that's probably not good for you. We have to be cruel to be kind so that you can just go get a job in Pret and do your best.
Yeah, and give me a free coffee.
That's right. Give me a fucking free salmon and egg roll,
give
bitch.
Me a cheer if you think I should quit. Woo!
Crowd goes like knickers being thrown on, like fucking babies being fucked up at them. Do you know what I mean? Fanta filled babies. What was I going to say? What the
That's
fuck?
End of pod.
End of pod.
That's end of pod. So that's the first time we've done a bit of advice. I really liked it.
More on the Patreon.
Send in your advice questions on the comment section on YouTube.
Nice.
Via the Patreon and guidetoparentingpod@gmail.com. Preference given to the Patreon and YouTube comments and the email. All that shit. You're great. Patreon is super cheap and super great. We'll do another hour over there and we'll see you over there. Patreon.com/parenting. Should we plug our gigs?
Let's go.
This comes out 1st of August. The Fringe starts like fucking tomorrow, maybe the day after.
Nice.
Get involved. 10:25 every day at Monkey Bar, my crowd work show. Mikey Rice.
Yeah, I'm going to 12:20 every day, my work in progress. That's me working on all new material. 5:45 every day. That's me doing nasty character, all in there. Also, Glasgow, 30th of August. I'm recording Nasty Character as a special in Glasgow. Is my fucking one of my favourite cities to tour. I fucking love people there and everyone there. So it's going to be sick. Blackfriars, all tickets are on my website.
And then 2 days after that, 1st of September, Vicar Street, Dublin.
That's
Get
right.
Along charity gig, raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. Chris Kent, Shane Daniel Byrne, Emma Doran,
Kyla Cobbler, me, Vittorio. There'll be other guests as well. It's for a great fucking cause. Everyone in Dublin, please, we love you. Grab tickets for that. There'll be links.
And then we're both on tour extended into the autumn. All that fucking shit. Buy the merch is out right now.
That's
the link
right.
will be in the description. We've plugged too many things, but the merch is great. And we've solved the problems, the teething problems with any of the delivery stuff.
That's
Look
right.
after yourselves. See you soon.
Nice.
Up a hoods.
No, noise.